Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Monitor. It is Tuesday, April 11th, and I am here with the truest True Die, Travis Hudai, and I am your host, Josh Peterson.
Yes.
Along with, I should have done that in a different order, but it is Tuesday, and there's a lot of good stuff in the news today. Travis, before we go on, I know that, much like myself, you are a gamer. So I just...
Yes.
What are you playing right now?
Oh, man. So I don't have finances to just buy everything
that's
in the world.
That's always a problem.
I don't, I can't lie to myself.
How does the other half live?
So, the game I've been playing since it came out, Overwatch. I pretty much just live on that game when I play. Overwatch. I played Final Fantasy 15. I cried playing Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, they just had an expansion come out.
I have not gotten that yet.
So GLaDOS. I haven't played it yet either, but
I want to. I want to.
It's on my to-do list.
I played the Chocobo Festival for a little bit, just a minute.
Did you like that? It was kind of boring to me.
I mean, hey, Chocobos, they're like giant little chickens.
Yeah.
Giant little chickens.
There were a lot of cool mini games, but once you got past the initial novelty of it all, it was kind of
okay.
Yeah, because I just remember playing it, and then because I was at a point in the game where I wanted to keep going.
I just wanted more content.
More content. Okay, I get that.
Because I mean, honestly, I just wanted the game to be longer and to cry a little less.
Because I was at the point where I was like, okay, do I want to help this lady arrange these chocobo decorations, or do I want to go and, fight something?
Exactly.
It's just
And I mean, why can't you do both?
Yeah, why can't
you arrange?
Why can't we just have everything that we want without anyone asking any questions?
I mean, honestly.
Why? It's just, life is unfair.
Soon enough.
It's just,
Soon enough. Yeah, so besides that, I've just been playing Overwatch. I can't lie. I very much love that game.
Okay, I haven't played it. I haven't played it.
What have you been up to?
I've been playing Mass Effect a lot. I love the game, and I hate it so much. I don't hate that I love the game. I hate the game, but I hate that I also love playing it. I guess because I have this OCD when it comes to video games, and I just want to keep on playing more and more. Anytime there's a new quest pops up, I'm like, ooh, I gotta do that. That's why I hate Assassin's Creed games, because I have to go literally all over the map. But with this one, the planets you go to are literally the size of a video game, a smaller
its own video game.
A video game that we would play when we were kids. This is the size of it, and it's you land on these planets and you can almost explore the entire planet, and it's just who has time for that? I think I'm on the last mission. I think I'm about to do it, because sounds like there's about to be a confrontation, and then I got to this point yesterday and I was like, oh, finally making progress, and then boom, I'm hit with 50 side quests at once, just popping up in my inventory, and I'm like, I know I need to do the loyalty missions, but at the same time, I'm at I think 40 something hours devoted into the game right now.
And you got it yesterday.
Yeah, right. I played it all in one sitting. I don't have a life beyond video games and this type of thing. All right, shall we?
Yeah, let's do this.
Shall we bust into the news?
All right.
So our first article comes from IGN, and it's written by Alex Osborne. It's called Marvel Comics Response to X-Men Gold Art Controversy. And so if you've been paying attention to this story, it was there's something. The guy who colored or made this cover is he put some things that are I guess anti-Christian and anti-Jew inside of these comic books, and there's been a big thing, and for some reason, it's been a big thing among comic book fans, but as far as when a Christian, a Christian does something in the news, and it's I don't know, defamatory or whatever you want to say, insulting to someone else.
Yeah.
It just gets circulated through every media system there is. But this has kind of gone under the radar just because
it's against
Christianity, but people are still offended by it.
Yeah.
And who is calling me right now? All right, we will have to call you back. But yeah, so here's our story. Artist Ardian Syaf made a post on his Facebook addressing the controversy surrounding the hidden messages he drew into X-Men Gold #1. He said this: "My career is now over," he wrote in the post, along with an attempt to clarify his intentions for including the messages, explaining that they stand for justice and love.
How do you put something that's hateful and it's justice and love, but it's hateful?
You know, modern man has this tendency to just put all these social issues into a blender and turn it on and just go.
And, it's love.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's love. This oozy black liquid is love.
Ew.
Okay, he goes on to say, however, the passages are about exclusion, a sentiment that runs opposite to the core of X-Men. Read his full statement. "Hello, worlds. My career is now over. It is the consequence of what I did. I take it. Please, no more mockery, debate, no more hate. I hope all in peace. Sorry, he misspelled a lot here. In this last chance, I want to tell you the true meaning of the numbers 212 and QS 551. It is the number of justice. It is the number of love. My love to the Holy Quran. My love to the last prophet, the messenger. My love to Allah, the one God. My apologies for all the noise. Goodbye. May God bless you all. I love you, Ardian Syaf."
So is it like religion wars?
I think I don't know.
It's like a new TV show.
Yeah, without getting too far into all of this, everything behind this, we'll just let that stew in your minds for a little bit, and you guys can make your own assumptions on that, because that has a potential to be a nightmare for us.
Yeah, true.
All right, our next article comes from IGN and is written by Jonathan Dornbush. Star Wars announcement teased for tomorrow, which was yesterday, so I guess it's supposed to come out today. Good Morning America is teasing a big announcement tomorrow in honor of the Star Wars 40th anniversary celebration.
Ooh.
A tweet from the ABC Morning Show promises that tomorrow Luke Skywalker and Rey, together with the Star Wars announcement 40 years in the making. The announcement comes just days ahead of Star Wars Celebration, which will kick off a 40th anniversary panel. Check out everything we expect to see, blah, blah, blah. All right, so what do you think this is?
That's happening today?
It's supposed to be happening today, but so far I've been on the internet a lot this morning, and I have not seen anything yet.
Man. I don't know.
What do you think is the the speculation is that it's going to be a trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
But we're still it's April.
It's like December when it comes out, right?
Yeah, we're 5 months or so away from
December.
It could,
but that's a big hype.
It could.
I mean, it's Star Wars.
Yeah, but it just seems like, or is this going to be like they're going to show the trailer to the people who are actually attending this 40th anniversary panel?
Maybe it'll be an announcement that Luke is going to be in the movie more than a minute long.
Yeah, do we really want to see Luke that long though? I want closure for his story, but
I mean, I watched a video and he was on stage answering questions, and he actually had no idea that he was only in the film that short. He's like, yeah, they made me lose weight, and he's like, he trained and lost all this weight for this show, the movie, and then he gets there and he reads the script and he's like, oh, I think I'm gonna come into this scene. He said that he thought he was coming into the movie right when in the forest when the lightsaber was grabbed.
Yeah.
He thought he saw it moving and he thought he was the one that grabbed it, but it was Rey. Spoiler. If you haven't seen it, but you should have seen it. And he goes, yeah. I was like, oh, it's a great entrance. I grabbed the lightsaber, and he's like, what? It was Rey. So he thought he was coming in early, and then he reads it and he finds out that he was only there for a minute. And he's like, yeah, they told me to turn around, pull my hood down, and stare. I
guess as far as acting goes, that's probably the easiest.
Yeah, and he got paid
way to do
for it.
I would love to get paid.
I would not mind. I don't think he was very upset. It was just more of a surprise factor. So man, I'm excited for this announcement. Anything that announces Star Wars.
What is it though? I mean, I feel like we're getting oversaturated with Star Wars. So if it's like, hey, we're gonna make a Boba Fett movie or a Jar Jar Binks movie, like I don't care that much. Like
we need the Jar Jar Binks movie.
Yeah, I feel because I was reading something where they're saying Lucasfilms or Disney or whatever has enough Star Wars material lined up to literally fill a movie spot every year for the next 30 years. And it's,
oh my gosh.
At what point? No, that's cool, but like, at what point
do
they just say enough is enough? Like, it's the same thing like with, video games. You have Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, you have all these annual entries, and you're just like, okay, this is cool, but I'm getting kind of tired of playing it.
I mean, I guess the point of enough is enough is when consumers, meaning us, stop buying it.
Yeah, so
because we're feeding it.
We are feeding it. That'll be interesting to see what happens in the future.
If people get tired.
If people get tired of it, it has the potential for people to get tired. Because I think it's better to wait, like maybe every other year too, to build up hype for it.
Logically, that makes sense, but my heart is like, yes.
Yeah, it depends on where it goes and how many of these are going to be, main entries. Are we going to, by the time 30 years pass, are we going to be on Star Wars episode
500,
20, 25? Yeah. Okay, but on to the next one.
Keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open. In case you didn't know, this is the Morning Monitor with Humannequin Media, where we we tell you all the news we think you need to know revolving around tech and nerd stuff. Our next article comes from Polygon, and it is by Allegra Frank. I'm going to paraphrase this one. It's a little bit long. Rare is the game that comes to both handheld and home console. Nintendo Switch games notwithstanding, but Dragon Quest XI out on July 29th in Japan is one of those rare games. Not only will it launch on both PlayStation 4 and Nintendo 3DS, but Square-Enix is making it so the fans of the series don't even have to choose which version to buy on launch day. You know why that is?
No.
Because a bundle that includes the PS4 and 3DS editions of Dragon Quest XI will be exclusively sold at just a handful of retailers in Japan, retailing for $135. So...
Wait, what?
You can buy both versions of the game for $135 in one package, which is weird because they're the only people I think who have done this before. Like when they bundled all the old Final Fantasy games, it was a Final Fantasy Anniversary pack, and it was this big old box, and it had the original games on like PlayStation, Nintendo 3DS or whatever. It had everything across all systems, basically everything they ever did, and so this is, it's not weird, but it's like you need to pick. I don't know why they would release it on two different consoles,
but
especially.
Would you have to buy the bundle? You can't.
You can buy them separately, but
what?
It's
I don't have $135. That's why.
And plus it's Dragon Quest XI, so I haven't played a Dragon Quest game in a long time, but I just have too many other games I want to play.
That meaning he just has Mass Effect, and it's so big,
and
it feels like it's a bunch of different games.
I will literally, you'll probably catch me next year, and I'll still be playing Mass Effect. Just one more side quest. Let me ask you this though: would you have preferred, say you were interested in this game? Would you have preferred to have it come out on, and you're a PlayStation person, Sony person?
Yeah.
Would you have preferred for it to come out on Vita instead of 3DS?
As a PlayStation person, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Since Vita is from the PlayStation grouping, 3DS is kind of random, and I haven't personally had a DS since like the first one.
Yeah.
Like, I never had the Nintendo DS Slim. That was that was the last one. Like, the one I had was before that.
What was the one that had the flip screen?
That's what I had. I had the flip screen DS.
Was that a 3DS?
No, they made it again, but then you could like switch this little dial up and down that made it actually 3D or like a pure 3D. Yeah, but I never bothered going above that because I was like, this is starting to cost a little too much, you know. So I would say personally the Vita, but I have many friends that are playing on 3DS, and that's where my wanting to get games on 3DS would be, because you can play with them if it's a game like that.
Because I kind of see what they're doing here with they want you to be able to play it on console and a handheld, and this kind of going in the wake of Nintendo Switch, you know, being able to play
both handheld.
Both, but the thing is, like, it's kind of pointless in a way because you can't, wherever you are in the game on PlayStation, you can't play it on 3DS.
It's a separate game.
It's a completely separate game. Yeah. So I see what they're doing, and while I appreciate the gesture,
you'd have to have 2 profiles for that.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Borderlands on PlayStation and Vita. They didn't carry over any of your saves from the other game, so it's just, you know, it is what it is. Which is
good and bad depending on who you are.
They should let you at least transfer your characters
if you wanted to.
And I know
it should be an option.
Yeah, and I know that Vita's a dying thing, anyways. But I mean, I still like it. They still sell it. I think Sony will eventually try to get back into the handheld market.
Yeah.
They
stopped. I mean, I had the PSP for a little.
Oh yeah, the PSP was fun.
It had some games that I enjoyed, but there was a lot that I was like, man, these are in progress still. Say. You know, like
Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. I did like that game.
Yeah.
And what else? I had Midnight Club Racing.
I had Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
That one was. I mean, I love Kingdom Hearts, but man, they make it for every console, every console that's out there, handheld. And I'm like, dude, I can't buy all of these to play one game. Like, I don't have funds for that. It all dials down to that for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've always wanted to play like all of them, but I can't do it, and it hurts.
See, with Kingdom Hearts, it's weird because they're finally releasing these all on PlayStation 4, and I just got a PlayStation 4, so I want to go out and I want to buy like there's like 2 packs. One has like 1 and 2, and then 2.5 or
there's
whatever.
So many points. I get confused.
And like I want to go out and play them before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, but I feel like, what is the point though? Like, what?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do
when you can go on YouTube and watch a recap video
and watch it? And I've heard different things. Like the writer of Kingdom Hearts is one of those people who just like makes up random junk just to make his storylines make sense. It doesn't really like serve a purpose besides
making
it cohesive, I guess. But
I mean, I played the first one, the second one, Birth by Sleep, and 365 days over 2 days or whatever for the DS.
How long do they take to play?
It depends how dedicated you are. Do you want to do everything? Do you want to get as much XP as you can? Do you want to find all the treasure tests on every place you go? Like, you can find the 101 Dalmatians.
So what's the ballpark of hours we're looking at?
Dude, I don't even know.
For one game.
If you're just like, it depends too, because like when I played it through the first time, it took me a long time. I don't remember hours wise, but like playing them again through like the second, third time, you were like, oh, I know what to do. Oh, Alice in Wonderland, this level sucked, but now you know how to do it faster.
Like speedrunning.
Yeah, so I've like, it's hard for me to say what it takes now, because now I kind of can figure out where things are, at least in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
I can go, oh, I know that I don't need to do all this nonsense and run around here. I could just jump through the wall. So
ballpark it though. Say a first-time player just now playing through.
Doing everything?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dedicated and you want to spend the time, you can find every treasure test, and you don't go on YouTube for walkthroughs. It could take you, I want to say 50 hours. Like, no, like that's like a...
I mean, I guess that's standard for a game. Cause,
but if you're looking for everything, like, I don't know if it'd be longer. I'm not very good with my time, so if I'm wrong...
Typical Square-Enix
I could be wrong.
Because I was reading somewhere that Persona 5 came out a few weeks ago, and they people are docking their times in at 120 hours, and that's really just for playing through the story.
Oh man!
So
What other game was like? I heard The Witcher.
The Witcher.
The Witcher had a lot of stuff, like story stuff, and then it had a bunch of side quests.
I just like. I'm on the fence about games with massive amounts of content in them, just because it's one of those things. Like your average video game player doesn't really have time to sit there and play all day, unless you know it's like a holiday or something. But
or if they're like in high school.
Or they're in high school, yeah. So I mean, a lot of us are playing just like personally. Like I play maybe 2 or 3 hours before I go to sleep at night.
Yeah,
and
that's about right.
And you know, I just don't. So if I were to play a game like that, it would probably take me. It could take me months to get through.
That's true.
So it's just I like the idea of having a lot of game to play, and maybe that's good if you want to go back to it. But it's also, you know, prevents you from trying a lot of the other cool games that are out there, and I guess that's kind of what developers want.
As well as like something I feel that we're losing in video games is like the meaning of them. As far as it having like a good meaning, that's why I love Kingdom Hearts. It's like this meaningful thing about like your destinies being tied and like friendship, being your like bonds with people.
Yeah.
And he's like chasing after his friends and like trying to work towards like helping save people. But you don't lose that in the fact that I have to do 8 billion side quests. And on the other hand, it's not like I'm just shooting people Call of Duty. You're just running around shooting each other constantly, which it's fun. But like sometimes I'll be looking and I'm like, man, I want to play a game that's like has a good story. We had Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank. These are old PlayStation games that they had, and they have some sort of a pretty solid storyline, you know, and it's just like good, like fun. It was like family fun.
That's like the old like Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot. You could play through those in like 18 hours.
Yeah, they don't take that long.
Like, go through and get all the gems or whatnot. But yeah, it's it's a bag of mixed nuts, I guess. Yeah. Depending on
gaming.
Our next story comes from Polygon, and it is by Julia Alexander. And this is interesting to me because there's been a lot of controversy surrounding YouTube internet personalities lately.
Yes.
PewDiePie vows to go family friendly as he suffers major advertisement loss. And for those of you who, I mean, if you've been hiding under a rock and you don't know what's going on with PewDiePie, he made some decisions recently on a video he was putting out there. Some people, there's a company that you can pay. You say, or it's like $5. You say, I'm going to give you $5, and you go online, you film this and upload it, and I'll pay you money. So he's just kind of trying to prove how ridiculous the whole thing is. So he had some people in India, I think, go out on camera or make a sign and say death to all Jews, which wasn't exactly like, it was stupid. He should have said it. It was pretty stupid. He should have known what was going to happen. But at the same time,
what did you think?
He was trying to prove a point that you could
say anything.
People will literally do anything for money. So it was one of those things. I get what he's going after, but he shouldn't have said it.
He went about it wrong.
Kind of stupid. All right, so here's the article. PewDiePie is taking on YouTube's new advertisement policy in a new satirical video that promises he's going family friendly. In a new video posted today, PewDiePie explained that since YouTube's new advertisement policy went into effect, more than a third of his videos have become demonetized. The only way to earn an income comparable to what he's been making on YouTube is to rework the type of content on his channel. No more swearing, no more sexual jokes, and definitely no more Hitler jokes, PewDiePie says. I wish I was joking, I'm not. It seems that YouTube has made some changes, and about a third of my videos have become demonetized. I'm going to have to be family friendly from now on so I don't go homeless. And he goes on to say, I love money too much. To raise a point about the new rules regarding advertisement placement on the site, PewDiePie spends the majority of his video making jokes that could be construed as inappropriate without ever going against the site's new guidelines. Figures. After making less money in one day than he did in 2013, according to the YouTube personality, the new advertisement policy is effectively forcing him to either change his tone or accept less ad deals. That being said, however, PewDiePie is still one of the most watched, subscribed to, and highest paid personalities on the site. Even with the new restrictions on content, he's making more than the rest of YouTube's creators.
Man.
There's a lot here. YouTube recently decided to make it more difficult for YouTube creators to get paid after controversy over the type of content getting monetized. Big companies in Europe, North America start pulling advertisement after learning their ads are being placed before videos promoting hateful or questionable content. PewDiePie, who in many ways has kickstarted the controversy YouTube is facing after videos containing anti-Semitic content, blah, blah, blah. All right, so this is interesting to me in the fact that it feels kind of censory to me, I guess. We are effectively censoring people's First Amendment right to speech, and we've had a run-in with that. It's one of those things, like, it's who decides what's inappropriate is the thing. Is there an algorithm on YouTube, or do people just flag it as inappropriate? Because I know videos that weren't inappropriate have gotten flagged by people, and then they've just been pulled
as, this is now inappropriate.
Yeah, so it's like, who decides it? Like, is it the politically correct that, these... We have this weird standard today on what is and isn't inappropriate. It's like...
And it's dumb. It's dumb. Like, I mean, I get it. Maybe you're making too many inappropriate jokes, or they're too inappropriate. It's possible that those things happen. But, like, at the same time, like, I don't want a Carl's Jr. commercial where a burger is dropping barbecue sauce on some lady when I'm just like, yo, I just want a burger. Like, how can you deem something on YouTube inappropriate, but then you're putting this stuff all over TV?
TV, like is filled, like, especially the CW, like, anything they put up on YouTube would probably get flagged, I'm sure. But it's one, like, it's frustrating because you're essentially you're censoring our right to free speech, and it's, there's some things you shouldn't say, but it's one of those situations where we are being forced. We're not allowed to have an opinion on something. Yeah. Because even if it's not offensive, it might offend somebody else.
Yes.
Because everything offends somebody. Like, it's just, that's human nature. Like, not everyone's going to agree, but, like, if you go against the grain of, I don't know, the politically correct, you kind of end up with this. You're just, you're a racist, or it
could be anything. It could be anything. Someone got mad at me when I was in high school because I smiled too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. I was like, I'm sorry, as I smiled.
Everything's misconstrued.
Yeah, it's just, everyone's opinions are so different.
You don't like someone smiling at you?
I mean, don't tell someone to hold a sign up that says what that said.
Death to all Jews.
That's not the wisest decision. But, like, also don't, especially if a video's already been there and it's like, now it's deemed as that because of something going on. It's like, that's just, I don't know. It's a weird one.
The moment you start to censor what people are saying is the moment that, you should be scared about what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen in the future.
All right, let's move on.
Sorry, we're on that one for a while.
We can edit.
Our next story comes from Polygon, because they're doing pretty awesome today with their articles. It's written by Allegra Frank, and it's Ghost in the Shell, beloved in Japan despite box office blowout in the West. Okay. Hollywood's version of Ghost in the Shell is unlikely to turn a profit after low box office returns and scathing reviews in the West, but in Japan, where the film just opened this weekend, the live-action remake of the classic 1995 anime has found popularity with local audiences. Blah, blah, blah. Yahoo's Japan's movie review site lists the film at a decent 3.56 user rating. I don't know what that would compare to on, like, Rotten Tomatoes. Higher than that of the original anime. The Hollywood Reporter also spoke to local moviegoers who mostly had positive things to say about the Ghost in the Shell remake. Praise went to the visual, Scarlett Johansson's performance, etc., etc. One comment in particular stood out, however. THR spoke to a fan identified as Yuki, who thought that the film was better off with a white woman in the lead role instead of a Japanese one as intended. She says this: I heard people in the U.S. wanted an Asian actress to play her, Yuki told THR. Would that be okay if she was Asian or Asian American? Honestly, that would be worse. Someone from another Asian country pretending to be Japanese. Better just to make the character white. Okay, so if you've been following the debate over this, there's this huge thing in Hollywood right now they're calling it whitewashing, where they get white people to play characters that they either originally was intended for someone of a certain ethnicity, or it was a white character. In the case of the Iron Fist, it was written for a white person, but they thought that because it was the Iron Fist revolved around martial arts, that
it should not be.
It should have been played by an Asian person. And this is interesting because I've been having this conversation with a lot of people. Like, okay, yeah, it was weird to have two. I like the movie personally, Ghost in the Shell.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was pretty good. Did you see the anime?
I haven't seen it yet.
Travis, you gotta watch the anime. All right. Well, somebody make this man watch the anime.
Hey, wait. Before we move on, in this same section, it said that the movie did better than the original anime, and reason being, I would say, is probably because they put Scarlett Johansson in the whatever.
So there you go,
thing.
Hollywood.
It worked. It worked.
It worked.
You can look at the numbers, and it worked. So
let's look at it this way, though. Okay, so all these people who are complaining about whitewashing, whatever. Like this movie was. I know they're trying to get to branch out, but like originally it was hyped by a very small percentage of people who like anime. Like me, you. You know, it's a very small market they're going to, and I see they're trying to, like, they spent a lot of money on it. It was some high number that I don't have access to right now. But then all this stuff came out by talking about whitewashing, how Scarlett Johansson shouldn't have played that part, should have gone to a Japanese person, or not Japanese, but an Asian person. And this is where I get into a lot of arguments with people, because I've spoken on this on a lot of podcasts regarding this topic. First of all, there aren't really. Can you name me one Asian actor that can in modern time or recent years that could carry a film with a budget of this size?
More specifically, female Japanese.
Yeah, more specifically, female Japanese.
I barely know any actors and actresses, so that doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah,
I can't.
But I mean, like you know, you used to have like someone like Lucy Liu, or that's really all I can name right now because I just can't think of any. So this is. It's funny because Hollywood is like the more, I don't know, leans more towards these types of issues, and they're the ones who keep doing something like this. Yeah. But this is
as far as the high-end actors and actresses go, I do see what you're saying. There's not a whole lot there.
And so maybe Hollywood needs to stop typecasting people. They need to stop casting Middle Easterners as terrorists, and you stop, casting Russians as villains. It's just.
Kind of figure
we've gotten
out.
So used to this.
But I mean, that's just here though.
Those are
Russian villains is
that's
probably just
here.
Probably just America.
The whole 'cause we're still living in the Cold War, but the whole idea of whitewashing is a non-issue to me because I think that the people who are doing it are the ones responsible. Us complaining about it is not going to do anything. It doesn't accomplish anything. And even this, like they said, it would be more offensive for someone who wasn't Japanese to play the part. So
of course.
It's.
I had this brings up the same thing. Even in the movie Moana, I had work on at my house, and the people working there were from some islands. I forgot the place, but it wasn't like Hawaii or Samoan islands. It was like I don't know, wherever it was. It was the island that gets the first light of day. So the sunrise there is the first hour of like the day. But they were telling me they were kind of not offended, but they were confused throughout the movie because it never really specified, oh, this is Hawaii or this is Samoa Islands or like...
They never really did specify.
And they said that the way they spoke, sometimes it sounded like how they speak, but sometimes it was how other people speak. And like me being not from Hawaii or any other islands, I never thought about that. Most people never thought about that. And I mean, I'm sure Disney put some things into it to try to like compensate for like different places. But I thought it was just interesting. But then again, it's like, this just brings up that same idea. Like,
it's a movie.
It could be offensive.
Shut up and enjoy it. And if it bothers you, don't go watch it. It's really that simple. All right. Before we get into our last thing of the day, which is new releases, I just want to let you know we have a sponsor, Always Green Synthetic Grass and Putting Greens.
Yeah, you said it right.
Catch them in They have
outside.
Catch me outside. They have a location in Huntington Beach, or you can check them out on Facebook or online at agsgrass.com. They have this. Their grass. I'm not trying to sell them. But I hope you do check them out. They have their fake grass. They do landscaping with it, so when they put it over, it's not just like a flat putting green.
Oh no.
They pack stuff underneath it to give it that curve that a natural lawn has.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, who doesn't want a natural curved lawn?
Yeah, you don't have to water it. Every once in a while you have to spray the edges for weeds, but that's just it literally, like, it
minimal.
might look expensive, but it pays for itself after, so many.
It really does. And, the natural curve, if it rains, you have that drainage system on it.
And this is really nice looking grass. It looks real, and it's not like the AstroTurf from the Brady Bunch.
It's good.
So please check them out. Let them know that you heard about them on the Morning Monitor with Humannequin Media. All right, in case you didn't know, or you're tuning into this late, which I don't know why you would, because you're on YouTube and you just press pause. But this is the Morning Monitor with Humannequin Media. I'm Josh. This is Travis.
Hello.
We're about to get into new releases for today.
Yes, sir.
Travis, would you do us the honors? What do we got going on in Blu-ray or
All right.
movies?
Blu-ray movies. You ready? There's two, okay? We have this new one. It's called Monster Trucks. All right? It's not your typical monster trucks like, Gravedigger throwback.
Okay.
There's monsters
Inside the trucks.
in the trucks, guys.
Whoa.
Inside of the trucks. I've not yet watched it. I've seen the trailer a bunch of times. It looks so. I mean, hey, probably not the best movie in the world, but it looks like it's gonna be like entertaining. If you just want to watch a movie that has not too much stress to where you're freaking out, something's gonna scare you, or I think Monster Trucks is the way to go. The other one, guys, Hidden Figures. I have not seen this movie. I have seen good reviews about this movie.
I've heard great things
and I've heard,
about this.
Yes,
I do actually want to see it.
I do. I just, I don't want to.
It's one of those movies, like, I have to be in certain moods for certain types of movies.
It's true.
Like, a movie like this, I have to be in a really, like, deep thinking mode to sit down and watch it.
You have to be ready, because I'm sure there's some things brought up in that movie where you're just like, whoa. Like, or things you never thought about even. But Hidden Figures, guys. So Monster Trucks, Hidden Figures, and go ahead, what's next?
And if you tune in next week, we will actually have copies of all the new releases, and we will be giving it away to anybody who subscribes to our YouTube page. So if you subscribe to our YouTube page and send us an email at humannequinmedia@gmail.com and just let us know that you did, and we will enter you and let us know what your name is, and we will enter you in a drawing to win these new releases. Is it going to be movies, video games? We don't know, but
your name and your YouTube
name. And your YouTube name.
So we know who actually subscribed.
And we will check.
Check.
You.
We don't do anything in life
except stay on the internet and game.
That's pretty much it.
What else is there to life than that, Travis?
Well, I like music.
We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, on PS4 and Xbox, we have Ukulele, which was the thing that JonTron got kicked off of.
Oh, he said something about that?
No, but he said some things that were offensive on YouTube. Actually, they were offensive. But, so I don't know why I did the quotations.
Offensive, but they actually were. So this is...
But, yeah, he was originally supposed to do a voiceover for Ukulele, and they kicked him off because of his comments on YouTube.
Whoa.
Too much controversy. But yeah, it's like a Banjo-Kazooie type game if you're into that.
Those are fun.
It's kind of, I don't know how long this game is. I don't know much. I haven't seen much about it.
It's on PS4 and Xbox.
PS4 and Xbox, so check it out. Also, we have Arrow, which Chad played and he talked about yesterday.
Not this kind.
It's like a rhythm game like Guitar Hero, but it's also a shooter. So you match. So I guess you fly along this baseline and you shoot things at the same time.
And then there's like this main chorus part that like you swirl around. There's like techno dubstep stuff, and it's real songs that you're playing. So like how Guitar Hero had real songs, Rock Band had real songs. It's real songs that you're playing too that like DJs make, I suppose. DJs, I don't know.
DJs do things. They make music.
They make music sometimes, or they make other people's music into different music
things, different musics
with wubs.
Wub.
Oh, yeah. So you follow along the lines, and then it gets harder where you're doing that, and you have to shoot the enemies. Watch the Mondays show, I believe, right?
And Chad talks about it. Chad got a hands-on.
Monday?
No. Wednesday. I don't know. It's on one of the shows. Just watch.
Watch one of the shows. Chad talks about it.
We'll put a separate review up for it. Chad got some hands-on. He got to play it before it came out, and he was digging it. Chad's one of those people. He's a mild gamer, but if he liked it, then hey, check it out. It's made by Mad Fellow Studio, I think.
Yes. And we said Happy Cow something.
Happy Cows,
but it's not Happy Cow.
That was a chore getting to that point. Okay, so this has been another episode of the Morning Monitor with Humannequin Media. You can check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We don't have a website up yet, but we're working on it.
Hey, we need subscribers for some coolness.
We do need subscribers for, we would like to have that vanity URL, so you just go into YouTube.
Make it so much easier.
YouTube.com/Humannequin Media, and you'll just pop up on all of our content. Cool. But thanks for tuning in, and you can catch us every day. We'll try to have the video up by 12 or 1 each day. Depending on where you are in the country, I guess. And you can tune in daily, Monday through Friday, and thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
All right.
To us, people that can feel things, it hurts.